All right, we are back with another pick'em video, and today we got a nice big slate in the NBA. Whenever there's a ton of games going on, just means more value to choose from. And I got 4 or 5 plays that I'm going to talk about. The hit rates, the matchups, the market value, all those different things that go into my plays, and hopefully find you guys some winners like we're always trying to do over here. We're going to break down each individual pick, then get out of here. And if you're new around here, definitely go ahead and subscribe. Leave the video a like, comment something down below, and let's just jump into it. Okay, so jumping into the PrizePicks desktop screen here, first of all, if you're not on PrizePicks, definitely go ahead and use code RichPicks when signing up, because when you do so, all you have to do is bet $5, and they're going to load your account up with $50 instantly, which is a pretty sweet deal. And they also have a promotion going on today. It's the last day of like their 7 days of NBA being back, and they have a $25 protected play. So I haven't even actually opted into that, but you can go ahead and opt into that. If you lose that play, they're going to load your account back up with that $25. If you win it, you're going to get the winnings like you normally would. Going into the first play, though, it's going to be Kyle Kuzma over 20.5 points. Now, this is a great opportunity, I think, for Kuzma to break out of the slump he's been in. He was a huge scorer for the Washington Wizards last year. He's got the green light on that team. There's not a whole lot going on. Jordan Poole has looked a lot better this year. He's also shooting a very good percentage, but Kuzma's been struggling. He's still shot a ton of times in the first 2 games, but even so, he has not been able to hit this in any of those games so far. But again, going up against Atlanta, a weaker defense, couple injuries over there, no DeAndre Hunter, no Onyeka Okongwu. So I think Kuzma is going to be in a great spot to be able to, kind of break out of this slump. And again, if you're looking at the last 5 games, you're not loving this play, but that's not the only thing we look at over here. Not even at all. These almost mean nothing to me at the end of the day when you look at all these other different things. So I think we're getting a nice discount here on Kyle Kuzma, and we're going to go ahead and see that. Also, throughout this video, you're going to see a few tools that I'm using. They're actually partners of the channel. I use them every single day. I wouldn't partner with anything that I don't like, and Outlier is one of them. You can try it for a free week. You're going to see how powerful this tool is. Right now, I'm showing Kyle Kuzma's points. You can look at all of them. That includes like first quarter points, first half points. They have fantasy scores, all these different types of things. I hope they bring back dunk lines in NBA because we crushed that last year. But you can see Kuzma was able to go over this in 63% of games last year. Also, this is a good point to pull out. He's in an away game. When the Wizards are away, they struggle a little bit, but even so, Kuzma is able to get a little bit more scoring because they lean on him just maybe a tiny bit more. His shots go up and everything like that. So 64% in away games last year. I do love to see that. Now, again, we do have to talk about the 2 games under our belt this year. We're just going to keep getting data points throughout the season as it goes on. But we have 2 bad data points to look at. 12 points in the first game. That was against Boston. They were kept in the game. Jordan Poole looked great in that first half, but Celtics ended up running away with that one as expected. And then also against the Wizards, they got blown, or sorry, not against the Wizards, against Cleveland, also got blown out in that one. That happens a lot in Washington. But they have a weaker Trae Young-led Hawks team to go up against today. They allow a whole bunch of points. As you can see, the defense allowed last year, 28th ranked. This goes into this year and last year because we don't have a ton of data on this year, but 28th ranked, 120 points to be had, hopefully, against this Atlanta team. So again, you can see the shots, 16 in each of those first 2 games. Horrible percentages, 38 and 19%. But he's still getting those shots up. Again, in Washington, he's got that green light along with Jordan Poole. So really good spot for him to bounce out of this. Again, huge hit rate. We know what he's capable of. And the head-to-head last year, he went over in 3 or 4 games very, very easily in 3 of those 4. Obviously a dud here. That's what Kuzma's going to do. That's when Atlanta was firing on all cylinders as well. Looks like a 30-point blowout there. But in any sort of closer game, this is a 7.5-point spread. 25, 38, and 29 points against Atlanta last year, and that goes hand in hand with the weaker defense. So Kuzma, I do think he's got an opportunity here to go over, and let's check out some market value. It's not just what I think. Let's see what the other books are saying. So this is DG Fantasy, another partner of the channel, but also an awesome tool. These are billion-dollar companies, multi-million, a lot of them, but some of these are literally billion-dollar companies. They have algorithms and experts that go into making these lines, and a lot of these lines are either at 20.5 and favoring the over, or they're at 21.5 and favoring the over. You can see on Pinnacle, on BetMGM, on Caesars. You do see DraftKings at 19.5. They're kind of an outlier here, but PrizePicks is right about in the middle, so I'm kind of focusing on the over here. They're expecting the over 52.81% chance to hit, so good to see that. Not only am I thinking that Kuzma's in a great spot here, the market value around the league is also kind of pointing in this direction. The last thing I'd like to point out here is his points projected model on RotoWire. RotoWire, another partner of the channel. All the links for these are in the description. You can get some sort of perk for using my code. This one in particular, you can just try out for RotoWire. Don't even have to put a credit card in for 2 days free, which is pretty sweet. And they have all different sports, but you can see Kuzma right up here. They don't love a ton of his stuff. Their fantasy score, they're up there on, but the points is something that they're kind of favoring the over. You see the pick'em sites, Sportsbooks, a lot of stuff goes into these projections, and their full projection is saying 21.04. We only need 21 points for him to go over this line. So yes, my last 5 Warriors that are looking at this, not looking too great. Only 1 of 5 games, but I think Kuzma's ready to break out of this slump. Hopefully he can hit, 40% of his shots. So that's not asking too much. And again, he's going to get him up there. So Kuzma, everything pointing in the right direction for him. I think this is a little bit too low. If this got bumped up to 21.5, I might kind of stay off of it. If it goes to 21, not the end of the world. But at 20.5, I'm really liking what I'm seeing. Moving along to the second play here, we're going to go a little bit faster as we know the tools and stuff. But Jared Allen over first half PRA at 13.5. A couple people comment sometimes and they're like, no, his PRA is at 26. How'd you get it at 13? It's the first half tab. It's a totally different tab. So just remember to go over there. But 13.5 PRA going up against the New York Knicks, new look Knicks here. And last year they had a really good defense, interior wing defense, all their defense. They didn't allow a whole bunch of points. But Jared Allen was really, really good against this team. Now when you think about the Knicks, they don't have a ton of stuff going on down low. So Mobley and Jared Allen potentially in a really, really good spot here to have a great game. With Karl-Anthony Towns down there as the biggest guy, not a huge deterrent at the rim. And then OG Anunoby is going to be the next guy sliding in to that power forward position, which great defender, but undersized for a guy like Jared Allen. So going into his outlier page, we can see all these different stats, and we're looking at the first half PRA. 2023, huge hit rate, 73% of games he was over this. When Mobley was playing, when Mobley was playing, he was still able to consistently go over this line. Head-to-head, we're going to go that route as well. Was able to go over this last year against them as well. Looks like he only had 1 game. I thought there was more than that, but 19 PRA in the first half, 13, 3, and 3. I really like his scoring potential here against this team tonight. If you want to go to the full game, that's you could definitely do that as well. I just like the first half hit rate. It's been incredible for him last year, and he's able to do it in the 3 games this year as well. So a lot of good data points in terms of hit rates that we're looking at for Jared Allen. Cleared this easily in all 3 games so far this year. So, the Cavs on paper looking really, really good. They got a great starting lineup, and they're a good defensive team as well. So you can see all these red numbers. A lot of that dating back to last year. If you go to center specifically as well, they did not allow a whole bunch of stats to anyone really, but new team, they're still meshing together. And again, Karl-Anthony Towns is not Mitchell Robinson down there. Even Julius Randle is kind of a bigger body than OG Anunoby for sure. So yeah, I think Jared Allen's going to be a really good spot to do a lot today. So first half PRA, if you don't love doing that, if you want to watch this whole game, it should be a good one. 2.5 point spread in favor of the Knicks. I do think that you could go that route as well. And that's what we're going to look at right here. They don't have market value for this as well on DG Fantasy for first half stats, just because not a whole lot of books have them. That's why PrizePicks is one of the more fun apps to play on. They have lines that not a whole bunch of books have. But you can see the PRA for the full game at 26. They are favoring that on the over. A couple other things like blocks and steals as well. They like the over 1.5. So another kind of reason if you want to be looking at fantasy score, I'd be looking at a first half fantasy score or full game. You could do something like that as well, but I don't love his block and steals potential here against the Knicks just because they don't allow a whole bunch of them, or at least they didn't last year. So I'm focusing on PRA for the first half, but if you want to go full game, looks like they're favoring the over there as well. Last thing, the RotoWire projection model, another one that's not going to show us first half stats. They don't have the projections for that, but they like Jared Allen's overs on pretty much everything, fantasy score, PRA. So that's another good positive point to point out that they're thinking he's got a good spot here for a good game. So Jared Allen, second play of the game, going kind of chronologically here. Kuzma starts at 7:30. That'll probably more like a 7:40 start, and then Jared Allen right around the same time. But those are the first 2 plays. Again, we're going to talk about a few more here, but don't forget you could use this as your protected play if you want to go ahead and do that. So really liking these first 2. Let's talk about the next guy. And that guy is going to be Julian Champagnie, who probably you guys are like, who the heck is that guy? He's playing big minutes for the Spurs starting in the first 2 games of the season. And he's at 1.5 3-pointers made again. He's been sitting at this. We've gone to it a few times, I guess once to start the season, and he cashed for us pretty easily. We actually went to his 12.5 points and rebounds in the Discord and moved to 13.5, and now it's sitting at 13. So absolutely look at this line as well if you want to go to that. But I'm kind of favoring after the bump this 1.5 3-pointers made line. They go hand in hand. If he's going to get the points, he's probably going to get most of them from the 3-point line here. So Champagnie over 1.5 threes. That's going to be the third play. Let's go into his outlier page. Now looking at last year, 39% hit rate. You're probably not loving that. But you do want to point out that he's had great success to start this year in a lot more minutes. So 4 threes in that first game against Dallas, 2 threes in the game against Houston, who they're playing again today. So I do like to see that. He was able to hit that against a team that we're playing today. And a decent amount of attempts, 6 attempts, 50% from 3. Can he keep that up? Well, I think he can, because going into last year, maybe not fully 50%. Last year on games where he's played 25 or so minutes, which is what he's got so far this year, 25 and 27 minutes, he hit this in 88% of those games on really good efficient shooting, 44% from 3-point range. So if he's going to shoot 5.5 attempts, again, he's been hitting them at a pretty good clip. I think if he gets 6 of those threes up, he'll be able to knock down at least 2 of them. So really liking Champagnie here. Again, not a guy that's going to be a household name, but someone who's getting consistent minutes on the Spurs, and a guy like a role player at home, we always see a little bit of a boost there as well. So if he gets 25 minutes, 88% hit rate in 16 games last year, really, really liking that. And again, the 2 games so far this year, 25 and 27 minutes. So liking Champagnie, let's take a look at some market value. The best over for Champagnie on PrizePicks right now is that 3-pointers line. 52.42% chance to hit. Pinnacle's got this at minus 142 on the over. I love to see that, because anytime Pinnacle is showing something very favored, they're known as the sharpest sportsbook out there. So love to see that. But all these other books, minus 130 on FanDuel, DraftKings, again, not our friend in this video, but still minus 115. It's not like they're favoring the under. And you can see very, very consistently favoring the over for a lot of these sports books. Last data point here, the RotoWire projection model. They like his points. They like his 3-pointers. Again, they go hand in hand, but 1.86 3-pointers, that's close, much closer to 2 than 1. So I like that as well. So Champagnie going to be our third play here in the Spurs game, and that's at 8:10. So a lot of these games nice and later, plenty of time to get these in. We have one more play, because I was going to go to Chris Paul, but his line got bumped. I was taking it under on Chris Paul just because I don't like his scoring. He's there to get assists, hopefully a couple to Champagnie. That would be nice. If Chris Paul can come in, set up Champagnie for 2 easy threes, that'd be great. But we did look at his under points for Chris Paul. Gonna skip that one for this video just because it did get bumped down a little bit. But yeah, moving on to the last play here, and that's going to be a much later game, so plenty of time. If you've seen these and all these games have started already, we do got one more play for you. So that last play is going to be DeAndre Ayton over 12.0 rebounds and assists. We got this in the Discord over at 11.5 when I set this out. When we attack good lines, they're going to get bumped, and it's at 12.0. That's fine. It just adds push potential. If he gets 12 exactly, you're not going to get a loss or anything like that. But I think he could, has potential to go over this 12.0, 13, 14, 15 going up against Sacramento. Now there's blowout potential, 12.5 point spread. You hate blowouts in the NBA, but if this one stays close, if he gets his 30 or so minutes, I'm expecting a lot more from DeAndre Ayton than this line is sitting at. So it's going to be a great pivot for us. We're going to talk about this play and then where you can still find this at 11.5 for the fixed payout system, and I'll tell you about that in a little bit. But let's go into his outlier page. 11.5 is what we're looking at, just so we can see the hit rate. And last year, a nice 64% hit rate. If you don't know, DeAndre Ayton, is kind of falling off a little bit from where his expectations lied when he was drafted #1 overall a few years ago. But he's getting the minutes, averaged 32 minutes last year, and in the games so far this year, he's played 3, gone over in all 3. This one wouldn't be a push, but 31.6 minutes right around that time. It's also good to note that absolutely destroyed by Golden State in that first game and was still able to get 31 minutes. So even with that blowout, he was getting 30 minutes, which I love to see. In games that he got 30 minutes last year, if we move this little cursor up, 30 minutes, 82% hit rate, getting at least 12. A lot of these are some pushes, but again, going up against Sacramento, a team that he was able to get 12 last year, I'm very much liking the opportunity for him to get at least that mark and potential for over. But if you want to get this at 11.5, I want to point out that Betr has been one of the most profitable sports books I've been on because they are slower to move their lines. They don't have pushes, so you'll never see a 12.0 line. They'll always keep that at 11.5. If it gets too good, he'll go ahead and take that line off the board, but you'll never see a 0.0 on Betr, which is why I think they keep these lines up a little bit longer than they should when you're attacking good value, and we can get a lot of good value on Betr. So if you want to try Betr, absolutely recommend it. I send plays out on Betr on the Discord as well. So you can get into the Discord for a free month. All you got to do is sign up for Betr, use my code RichPicks. There's also a link in the description, might be even a little bit easier. They're going to match your first deposit up to $200, so you don't have to do that, but if you want to put 50 bucks in, let's say, you're going to start with $100, which is pretty sweet. And you get access to all these very, very nice and easy lines where you wouldn't get access to them on PrizePicks. You see, they already bumped them, but Betr, they're going to be lacking behind. 11.5 on all these other books, minus 139, minus 135, minus 152 over on Sleeper, very, very heavily favored, which is why PrizePicks bumped that line up. Sportsbooks are liking the over here, and Betr is going to be lagging a little bit behind. So definitely check out Betr, especially if this is already bumped. If it doesn't go back to 11.5, I'd highly recommend playing it over there. And again, use my code. You get into my Discord for a free month where we're always talking sports, talking props, talking lines. You can see people, always sending different plays, injury news on NFL, NBA, MLB we got today as well. I think it's today. World Series has been a lot of fun. But yeah, a lot of stuff going on here. It's a great community to check us out. But let's finish up on DeAndre Ayton here. We just showed the market value over here, but you can see even at 12, they're expecting the over on the projection model for 13.42. I do love to see that. They like his over on a lot of things. I actually want to point out that, even with the bumps as of right now, you could go to his points and rebounds at 24.5. We know Ayton has capabilities of scoring the ball. He hasn't looked too great scoring the ball this year. A couple 10-point games that's just kind of dragging his line a little bit lower. But if you think he's going to be able to score against Sacramento, who doesn't have a huge good defense, obviously Sabonis down there, big body, but not a big deterrent at the rim, you could go to his points and rebounds as well. But really liking Ayton here, 12.0 or 11.5, wherever you get it. I think he's got the definitely opportunity to go over this one. So here's the full play that I actually submitted in the Discord. We also put in a 2-man, I think with Kuzma and Jared Allen, kind of my favorite ones of the day. But if anything, bumps and things like that are bound to happen when you attack good lines. And we're always talking about that in the Discord. So definitely, if you like these videos, if you like sports betting, it's fun to be in a community where you can talk about that with like-minded people, bounce ideas off each other. Sometimes we do community slips and we're just talking in the chat, hey, what do you guys like? And sometimes those are the most successful when you put your brains together and say, hey, what's everyone's favorite play? These ones I'm all agreeing with. Let's throw that into the play. So if you're interested in that, plenty of ways to get in there for free, but there is a link. You sign up through Dabble, then just got to use your Discord account and link those two together, then you'll get automatic access. Definitely check us out. We have a lot of fun in there. And we're up 16 units in October, and that's with me missing, 9 or so days when I was out of the country and couldn't sports bet. So yeah, we've been, very successful. 10 of those units have come since we started the NBA. I've got a Pickett account. I show it all the time, but just not going to pull it up today. But yeah, really liking what I'm seeing on the board right now. Chris Paul is that other play in there that we didn't talk about. I don't love this one. I just, he hasn't scored the ball very much at all to start the season. He's not in San Antonio to score the ball. He's there to set up the younger players and kind of, run an offense like it should be and show these guys how to play. He's been the facilitator. His assists are up. Yeah, I don't like his scoring potential. If you want to fade this one, I totally understand that. It's kind of why we skipped over it. But yeah, all the other 4 plays, really liking those. So that's going to do it for this one. Again, plenty of opportunities to get into the Discord for free if you want access to all of my slips. I do this pretty much throughout the whole day. Start sending out slips. It's not just the NBA. Sometimes we're doing Counter-Strike. Sometimes we're doing the World Series, NFL. We got Monday Night Football as well that we're going to tack some value in. But plenty of ways to get into the Discord for free if you don't want to just pay up front using the link in the description. But you can also check out all the different links. You get my Betr code, which is RichPicks. Underdog has been sending us a ton of different discounts and player boosts every single day throughout October. They've been one of the more profitable ones out there for us. It's been insane. They also pay 6x for 3-mans, which I always say never play 3-mans on PrizePicks because they only pay you 5x. Always do your 3-mans on Underdog, and they're just different values. They want your business. That's why they send out these boosts and things like that all the time. So Betr's been giving us daily discounts. Underdog's been giving us daily boosts and things like that. Sometimes just gimme squares where they just do a 0.5 line for people. And a lot of other platforms do that. PrizePicks is probably the least that does that. They have a little promotion going on right now where we get a $25 free play. That's awesome. But they definitely do it the least other than, Underdog and Betr and Chalkboard and all these other different apps. So definitely check them out. There's reasons to be on multiple different apps. You don't have to play them every single day, but if they got a free square or a discount on a different app, you better believe we're going to be attacking that. That's just value that we're going to take advantage of as a profitable, smart sports bettor. So use my code. That's how you get into the Discord for a free month. If you do use my code, maybe just comment down below, hey, I used your code, or in the Discord, there's a general chat. There's a free part of the Discord. You can be like, hey, I used your code, and then we'll talk about screenshots and proving that and get you right in there. It's pretty seamless. But we have a lot of fun over there where there's normal people talking about sports, talking about lines, and it's a whole lot of fun. So definitely check us out. That's going to do it for this video. Hopefully we got a good profitable day. We've been very profitable in the NBA. Our hit rate's been very good in individual plays as well. So just going to try to continue what we did last year where we went up crazy units. It was absolutely absurd. And with all these different tools and the time that I put in, that's what we're striving for each and every year. So we're going to try to do that again, and that's always the goal. So I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video where we're talking more NBA. And good luck with all your bets. Peace out.